We're lucky to have a couple legends in the KEXP live room today. So excited. We got a wild blues blaster from Southern California and a mystic flatlander from the Great Plains who, contrary to what you've heard, is never over the line. In fact, these cats, borders, genres, lines, you can't mess with them. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Alvin, Jimmie Dale Gilmore, live on KEXP.
If you've never had trouble, you've never been alive. Well, I've had my share, I survived. The way up ahead may not be clear, but I ain't worried 'cause we're still here.
I had wild times in Houston at the Allen Park Inn. Long sleepless nights of temptation and sin. Well, when they tore that joint down, you know I shed a tear. Now the Allen Park's gone, Jimmie Dale, but we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. We're still standing, no matter what you might hear. We're still here. We're still here.
We just keep on rolling 'cause we're still here. Never gone crazy, you've never been in love. Uncomplicated romance is unheard of. Love's a tangled tale of hope and fear, but I'm willing to try 'cause we're still here.
With a music businessman with a music business smile. So the songs that I write sound old, way out of style. But I've been bopping these blues for over 40 years. I don't know where he is now, but Jimmie Dale, we're still here. We're still here. We're still here.
We're still standing, no matter what you might hear.
We're still here. We're still here. We just keep on rolling 'cause we're still here. Well, in New York City land, the cash are concrete.
We went the wrong way down a one-way street. We made it through that, so it's perfectly clear.
Oh, we could make it too, 'cause we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. We're still standing, no matter what you might hear. We're still here. We're still here. We just keep on rolling, 'cause we're still here.
Dave Alvin, Jimmie Dale Gilmore, and the Guilty Ones live on KEXP.
Tougher times have come and gone. Stranger names have been remembered. You missed me from the day we met, love. What makes you think I've forgotten? Roll around, roll around, roll around and sing forever. Spread your wings, spread your wings, spread your wings and fly tomorrow. Bluer skies have blown away. Can't you remember what you called me? You wore the rose, I ran in the circles. No one knew you had my number. Roll around, roll around, roll around and sing forever. Spread your wings, spread your wings, spread your wings and fly tomorrow. A shaft of light, smoky shadows, violent silence of love unspoken, profiles of your face and power, tears between here and forever. Bleeding from the heart of matters, terrified of understanding. Why'd you wake me from my slumbers if you didn't know I loved you? Roll around, roll around, roll around and sing forever. Spread your wings, spread your wings, spread your wings and fly tomorrow. A fence of wood, gates of metal, trace of perfume in the twilight. Stars collide and dry leaves rustle. Your lips are wet and filled with wishes. Roll around, roll around, roll around and sing forever. Spread your wings, spread your wings, spread your wings and fly tomorrow. Ancient mountains, chills and fevers, empty roads, fields of flowers, dusty beds and hanging gardens, the golden light still in my heart. Love, roll around, roll around, roll around and sing forever. Spread your wings, spread your wings, spread your wings and fly tomorrow.
Jimmie Dale, Gilmore, Dave Alvin, and the Guilty Ones live on listener-powered KEXP.
She had a boy with some guy from Fresno. Where he is now, well, none of us know.
We found a number on some paper in her purse. That was the number. We tried first,
but nobody answered. Every time we tried, we're the only ones in the world that even know she died.
we gave her clothes to Goodwill, except for one pretty dress. Tried to make her face up so she would look her best.
We got carnations at the Safeway. There were no roses there. Had no money for a preacher, so we just said a prayer.
Oh, but nobody answered. Every time we tried, we're the only ones in the world, even though she died. Yeah, they shut down the mill. Now there's no one around. She was the last stripper at the last club in town.
I can't say that I knew her. I can't say we were friends, but I still call that number every now and then. Oh, but nobody answers every time we try. We're the only ones in the world who even know she died. We're the only ones in the world who even know she died. We're the only ones in the world.
Dave Alvin and Jimmie Dale Gilmore, live on listener-powered KEXP.
Summer rain coming down. It's another gig, another barroom, way out on the outskirts of town. Folks are dancing, sweating, somewhere between salvation and sin. And when the morning sun rises, I'll be back on the road again. Heading for the next joint, I'm gonna make this guitar growl. I'm gonna blow the roof off it, baby. I'm gonna make this harmonica howl. Then I'll jump the boogie for Big Joe and play the blues for the blind eye. Well, out in wild California, there's a redwood piercing the sky, rising up from the forest over 300 feet high. And the odds are stacked against it, but somehow that sequoia survives. Standing strong, standing proud, and that's where the blind owl still flies. Heading for the next joint, I'm gonna make this guitar growl. I wanna blow the roof off it, baby. I'm gonna make this harmonica howl. And then I'll walk with Mr. Lee and play the blues for the blind owl. Midnight way down in Tucson, or really any town along the highway. Load in the gear, whisper a prayer, be thankful for every damn day. 'Cause the odds are stacked against us, but somehow we still survive. Standing strong, playing proud, 'cause that's where the blind owl still flies. Head for the next joint, I'm gonna make this guitar growl. I'm gonna blow the roof off it, baby. I'm gonna make this harmonica howl. And then I'll play one for my brother Gene and play the blues for the blind owl.
Dave Alvin, Jimmie Dale Gilmore, and the Guilty Ones live on the station where the music matters, KEXP Seattle. Thanks so much, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, that was beautiful. So great, so great. I'm loving this new record. It's called Texicali. Some great old tunes on there from Blind Willie McTell, Brownie McGee. I love the take on the Stonewall tune. You kind of rev it up and do it your own style. And some great, originals that y'all worked on and, worked with other folks too, like that Terry Allen song you did a moment ago.
That's a Terry Allen, Dave Alvin song.
Okay, yeah.
To be exact.
To be exact. But also collaborating with Bill Morrissey on a song.
Yeah.
Butch Hancock dubbed out song. Boy, that's amazing. And just this depth of tunes, it really speaks to the quality musicians that you have joining you today. I just want to see if you can just introduce the Guilty Ones and talk about where y'all met.
Sure. Well, met is a hard question to answer. We've known each other all of our lives. It's really I've known Chris Miller, the guitar player, since he first he had a band down in Portland that opened for the Blasters, and he scared me then, and he scares me now. Chris Miller on fancy guitar, and on bass is Brad Fordham. And I first met Brad at the Palomino Club in North Hollywood when he came down from Canada with a band called...
I was playing with Kelly Willis.
Was it Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had a band before that. Well, we all forgot it. And that was many years ago. And then Lisa, the drummer, I first met and heard Lisa playing drums. Lisa Pankratz, I should say, on the drums. I first met and heard her when at the Continental Club in Austin, and she was playing with a group. I was getting ready to produce a record for a band called the Derailers, their first album, and she was playing drums, and I just watched her. I was supposed to be watching the band, but I was just watching Lisa play drums going, I'm going to play with her at some point in my life. And so that's Lisa Pankratz on drums, Brad Fordham on bass, and Chris Miller on guitar.
Awesome.
And I had Brad was in my main touring band back in the 90s for a long time. We did a lot. We did Seattle a bunch. We did, back in the Spinning Around the Sun days. And Lisa had actually played with me before that, before I ever had a record deal or anything. She was a teenager. Mm-hmm. And I always tell this story. It's only slightly exaggerated. That Lisa, I tried to get her to join the band fully, but the trouble is that she got a paying gig.
That's tough for musicians. I understand. That's beautiful. And I just love the sound of your voices together, your styles together. Following up this album, your first album together from 2018, and this one very much in the same vein, just really digging into blues and doing it your own way. And you've both had a career of doing it your own way, and I really appreciate that. But you bonded because you both kind of went to the Ash Grove back in the day, and you saw some of your heroes and your legends play there. I just want you to maybe talk a little bit about that experience and what that meant to you.
Well, the Ash Grove was this club down in Southern California that was sort of it was the kind of club that made us into the guys we are today. Which it was an oddball club, and it was the kind of club where you could go see Lightnin' Hopkins or Clifton Chenier or Johnny Shines or Big Joe Turner, or you could see Bill Monroe or Ralph Stanley or Clarence White, and they let kids in. And that's a big deal, for my brother Phil and I, it was a big deal because Jimmie Dale had been there before, hanging out with Sunhouse and Lightnin' and everything, and then about 5 years later, my brother Phil and I showed up, and then we started following around Big Joe Turner and Lightnin' Hopkins and people like that, because wherever they played, we would just show up like deadheads, except we were Big Joe heads, And so that kind of, when Jimmy and I had known each other for many, many years, and we never knew that we had both been Ash Grove kids. And Jimmy had moved out to L.A. from Lubbock, and he started hanging out there, and then my brother Phil and I, we grew up in Downey, which is about 25 miles south of where the Ash Grove was, and we would beg, borrow, or cajole, or to get a ride up there, because I was 14 years old when started going to the Ash Grove, and I only came up to Jimmy Dale's knee. And so that club kind of made us in a weird way. So it was only until Jimmy Dale and I were out touring Acoustic that we realized, oh my God, you hung out at the Ash Grove too? And so, it's the Ash Grove brought the world Ry Cooder and Taj Mahal and Bonnie Raitt and Jackson Browne and Clarence White and a lot of people, Greg Lease, a lot of people all came out of the Ash Grove, and Jimmy Dale and I did too. So.
Yeah, and you said that they let kids in. I was a kid, and I had a wife and a kid. So I was
bring the whole family to the Ash Grove.
20 or so, and we, of course we didn't meet we didn't know each other then, but it turned out we were hanging out there at a lot at the same time,
yeah.
and it was just the strangest thing when Dave and I, like everybody else, I think both of us have been kind of stereotyped and put in a container that
Sure.
didn't really actually describe either one of us. But I think we've had that about each other to a degree. Like I thought of Dave from the punk, the blaster, and
Sure.
the L.A.
The wild years.
Whammy music.
Playing with X and playing with the Knitters and playing with all those guys.
And I wasn't really real acquainted with that music, and then everybody just thought I was a country singer or kind of a mixed up country singer. But and then so when Dave and I did this little tour together. 2017 was it? When did we do that?
About that.
And just the two of us, and we thought we were just going to trade songs. I'll do one, and then you'll do one. But almost immediately I discovered that just about any old thing I knew, since I was playing solo, I was doing the old kind of folk and blues stuff that I had played before I ever played in bands. And Dave knew all it. He knew all the songs. It was just the strangest thing. It was a revelation. And Dave said that he figured out very quickly that we needed to record together. And I can't remember if you mentioned it early on, but later into the tour he said, hey, we got to go out and do something. So that led to the first album, and then which was mainly L.A. studio musicians, old friends of Dave's,
Sure.
but A-list people.
Van Dyke Parks, and there's some great cats on that first record.
And plus, these guys got on it with us. But then we toured that record with this particular band. I didn't know Chris before that, which is very strange to me because we nearly knew each other a lot in Austin. He played with Marcia Ball, who was one of my oldest friends, and so the little conglomeration of this, it just worked so well. We did a year together, and then COVID slammed us, and everything stopped, and Dave's health problems stopped everything, and it just all crashed, But then we had become a band really by that time.
Yeah.
Dave pointed this out later on so this record that we just made is the band. It's this band, the whole thing. The only outsider was Buck Allen.
Terry's son.
Okay,
Terry's son,
yeah.
Keyboard player.
Yeah.
He's great.
I knew that, like I said, the first album we did in California, and I figured, well, for this one, everybody in the band lives in the greater Austin cosmic creative zone, so I'd have to drive I-10 a few times to make the record, because it was only fair, because, we're a band. We're a band.
Well, separated by, so many miles, you're obviously informed by that same history of the blues form, American music, and hillbilly music, and ragtime, and everything.
Yeah.
And it comes through, and Yeah.
Whenever I plug in a guitar, I'm walking in the front door of the Ash Grove. That's in my brain. That's what I'm doing.
That's beautiful. Y'all do a cover of Youngbloods Get Together when you go out live on the road.
Yeah.
I love that song, and still has a great meaning today. And like, what can we learn from an LA cat and a Texas sage about how to get together in this age of staying apart?
I'm not supposed to say this, but Texas and California are not that different. There's a lot. Well, okay. There's similarities.
Sure.
And they have a lot more similarities than, say, Texas or California has with Connecticut or South Carolina. And so even though my hometown's like 1,200 miles from Lubbock or 1,000 miles from Lubbock, culturally and all that, Jimmy Dale have a lot more in common than I do with somebody that's, if you grow up in New York and you grow up in Baltimore, you're two different worlds. But first time I was ever in Lubbock in like 1981, I felt, I'm back home. This is just Downey out in the plains, They're both flat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the Ash Grove. It was, so my background, my early music, the stuff I was imprinted with as a very young child, was a lot of it included, for example, the Maddox Brothers and Rose, and then later on, Woody Guthrie, but Bakersfield was. Hank Williams was my guy. He was the original, and then all the honky tonk music is what my daddy taught me, but there was a huge California, although I didn't know it at the time. It was just radio music to me. I didn't know that Lefty Frizzell was recording in Dallas, and that.
Merle Haggard was recording in California.
Was in California. It was just music. It was just stuff I liked, and so there was really the Ash Grove was an important thing later on, but the Okies, the Okies, Lubbock is just about Oklahoma, actually.
That's the town motto, isn't it?
That's there's a friend of mine from Lubbock, Ron Riley, has these T-shirts. He gave me one a few months ago when we were in Lubbock. It said, "Keep Lubbock secret," and on the back of it, it said, "Lubbock, Texas, supplying Austin with musicians since 1967." But the crossover between, it started before the Ash Grove for me and Dave.
And I love the new record and just the sense of just resilience and keeping on with you guys. I mean, that opening cut, "We're Still Here."
Yeah.
The Butch tune, talk about Roll Around and Singing Forever. Dave, you talked about your heroes, your blues heroes, playing forever and playing till the end. And I love that, that's the ethos that you still have going here.
What else can we do?
Yeah. You've got quite a tour happening here. It goes all the way into the fall.
Yeah.
Any new collaborations, anything that we can expect on the horizon beyond that?
Kind of. Last time I was here in the studio, I was here with the Third Mind with Jesse Sykes and Michael Jerome and Victor Krummenacher and Mark Heron. We got a live album coming out of the Third Mind that'll be out the early part of next year, and then we're touring. Then the Third Mind's going out for maybe about a month and see what kind of musical sonic shenanigans we can get up to.
Nice.
And I suspect this little conglomeration of us here will keep going from now on.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for
constant.
Yeah. Thanks so much for making time and coming in and playing for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's always one of my favorite places, and it's been quite a long time, actually, since I've been here.
Well, welcome back. Yeah, y'all have collaborated with some great artists from out here, Christy McWilson or Mudhoney.
Mudhoney.
Yeah, I love that EP. That's honestly what turned me on to you back in the 90s when I was on college radio. I heard that EP and I was like, who is this guy? And then I checked out the Flatlanders and other stuff too. But yeah, really appreciate everything you do. Thanks so much, all y'all coming in and spending time here with us. This is listener-powered KEXP. Thanks for keeping it here. If you want to help sessions like this happening, you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can make a gift to kexp.org. Keep the station running strong. Keep sessions like this happening. Big thanks to all the KEXP staff here helping out today, getting this looking great and sounding great. Take care, y'all.
All right. Thank you all.
Woo.
Discover new music at listenerpoweredkexp.org.